Hey guys, it's Frank here with another user-submitted replay from the one and only, the best-looking player on the ladder of Stormgate. It's JXP, our Red Vanguard player, versus Aftermath's Theory. Say that 5 times fast. In the upper right, on Broken Crown. So right off the bat, we're going to see Hexen versus Dog. Dog always wins. Hexen takes some nibbles and then teleports back home. Blah, blah, blah. We've seen it all before. Okay. We did see, it looks like the Conclave went down first. So it's going to be, yeah, Hexen Gaunt to take on the health camp first. That's what usually happens anyway. Actually, I really like that. Jay, if you're still watching, I really like that dog play where you take one nibble off of each gaunt, so that way they're just a little bit squishier going into that first camp. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I really like it. Yeah, this is something else that I've noticed is that the meta around and then using the dog to attack the Hexen. Oh my gosh, that's so good. No, it loses a gaunt. And the dog survives. Oh no, this is a disaster catastrophe for the loses a second gaunt. No. Jay, what have you done? What have you done? That was cool. Wait, where did the dog lived? The dog lived to get a cabbage and get fully healed back up to be annoying for another day. Very cool. I thought the Hexen was going to be a sure thing for a second there. All right, Theory though rebuilds a bit of an army, gets a couple brutes, gets a couple gaunts, and now we'll absolutely be able to. Where's the Hexen? There it is. We'll absolutely be able to take on this level 1 speed camp. Skull of Cheddar pops out, gets a doggy. And the rest of the brutes taking up at that dog. Alright, one fiend comes over to the... Oh man, it just barely avoids getting smacked by that gigantic sharp stick the Lancer wields. I know, no one wants to say, it's not a lance. He's a Lancer. It's an edged weapon at the end of a stick. It's a lance. It's fine. It's fine. Even if, not according to Battle of Hastings in 1066, there were no lances that were shaped like that. Like, who cares? It's a lancer. Just call it a lance. It's fine. It's okay. No! No, I'm not. No, that's your saying. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. No worries. Sorry, I owe you. I'll give you royalties. All the money that this video makes is going straight to JXP. You know what? I'm going to say that, and this is going to end up being like the video that makes the absolute most amount of money. Look at how much firepower I had to go down to take out one Lancer. You know, it's pretty rare that we see the Infernal being the aggressor this early in the game. Normally it's the Vanguard player that's bringing the pain to the Infernal player this early. No, I think we need to stop this parade push. Lancers are just so strong in the early game. Yeah, you can trickle units in, but they're all just going to get shredded by these Lancers. They do when they stand shoulder to shoulder anyway. The Lancers, if they're kind of spread out, getting hit, like if the units are more peppered together than they are like in a good, formal lines of combat, then the Lancers don't do so well. But just clump them all up. Get one of those reticulated square formations going on. Yeah. All right, Lance is going to chill inside of the resort at Health Camp South. All right, we don't see any extra tech. This is just straight up 5 racks. This is the 2 base 5 racks build of, I heard, like, oops, all Lancers against Theory, who's got a little bit more, I don't want to say sophistication. It's a little, he's got more variety. Okay. Now we see the Ritual Chamber going down, which means that Plague Axes aren't far behind, That means JXP's only got a... He's on a time limit here to go do some real damage before the snowballing starts. And then just everything that dies turns into a fiend for Theory. But this is quite a bit of Lancers. This is a scary amount of Lancers. Huge connection from that Nightfall Infestation, but doesn't matter a whole lot. We see a bunch of emergency promotions going down on the Lancers, and yeah, Plague Axes are nowhere near being done. Why? There's so many Lancers that are just running from brutes. Forcing those Lancers into a choke, though, is pretty dangerous. Okay, Plague Axes starts immediately. Yeah, the Lancers don't want to be fighting into a choke here. Honestly, nothing wants to be fighting into a choke. But, yeah, with this many ranged units for Theory, I think it's especially rough. Okay, so we do see a Twilight Spire and a meat farm. All right, let's keep track on how those how this Plague Axe is doing. Yeah, and the more that JXP doesn't attack Theory's army. Okay, Twilight Spire goes down. Does have a way out, and he is getting some swipes off as he's leaving. Twilight Spire goes down once again. There we go. Now Plague Axes is done. And another Clown Cave goes down to complete the wall off here for the imps. Which is actually really good. I need to memorize this this Sim City. Keeping the it's an Iron Vault and a Conclave, or like two production structures head to head right here. Will keep the imps safe and out of the hands of oh no, yeah, that Magmadon says get off my lawn, boy. So okay, so we see kinetic redirection finished up, but that Magmadon's going to stomp on forward, getting so much good surface area. But now that the Lancers have the kinetic redirection on full stacks, like they're just going to surround this Infernal Force, and no, all these Lancers are so low. They need to get out of there. Yeah, they take out all the infantry basically, but these tier 2 units are just going to be a little bit too much. Oops All Lancers has been effective so far, but I think their utility is kind of run out. Magmadons are just too good against Lancers. That okay, the Exos are here. Good. The Exos are going to be doing a lot of good. Yeah, I think those Lancers just need to chill inside of the resort at 12 o'clock health. Okay, the Vision Camp down here resets. We see a Gaunt Drop going into the expansion from Jay. Into Jay's natural. We don't see any kind of defensive structures, which is unfortunate. Even just a basic sentry post would have done nicely. Okay, but now they're all gone, and the Bobs can go back home. Get back to getting back to whatever they're doing. Exos need to be targeting down that. They need to be targeting down that Magmadon. I think we're down to 3 Magmadon, or 3 Lancers. Theory dropping a ping at the center of the map for something. Oh, Nightfall Infestation just grabs the Lancers, which have been slowed and infested for a little bit. They take out their aggression on a poor defenseless Felhog, which needs a buff, by the way. And something teleports to that shrine. Oh, it was the Harbinger. I don't think the Harbinger has the stomp upgrade though. No seismic slam upgrade, but loading up 2 Magmadons inside of a Harbinger is pretty good. Doing a backdoor with like tier 2 units, I think, is underrated. Like, we've all seen the Gaunt Drop before, and turning your opponent's workers into fiends is really good, but I think you just get better surface area with Magmadons. Like, if you just want to clear out that worker line, send in the Magmadons, start stomping, and let them auto attack. And yeah, all those workers will get cleared out pretty quickly. Exoball, in the meanwhile, clears out the speed camp. And the Magmadon is going to mow the lawn between his natural and his third. Alright, meanwhile, oh, huge connection with that Nightfall Infestation. Grabs so many Exos. And they're just going to sit there getting the dot for a little bit. But they've got the passive regen one health camp anyway. It used to be 2. It doesn't really matter all that much. Alright, these Lancers need to do something. I guess they're sitting there tanking hits, which is nice, but with the it doesn't matter as much against the Gaunts when their shots bounce off to the units in the rear. Both Magmadons going down. See a couple of imps flame on! Oh, and they only get 1 exo for their trouble. Lash on a tier 3 exo. Where's the reinforcements? JXP, it's not every day I see a macro game replay with you in it. This is cool, man. Thank you so much for submitting this. Oh, another lash on an exo. And I think these Gaunts don't stand up to a 1v1. Oh, that poor Weaver's just... Yeah, Weavers are not a good mix for a Bioball army, I think. You need, where's the Hellborn at? Yeah, no, forget Weavers. Start making Hellborn. Okay, a couple of Flame On imps come forward and get some decent connections. The Weaver, though, Theory's Weaver, the tanky unit, is retreating behind all of his squishy ranged DPS units. Oh, and then all the flame imps explode before they can get into contact with the Exo Ball. Speaking of Exo Ball, keeps on doing chip damage again and again and again. Oh, and I don't know. Oh no! Okay, only gets 2 with that Nightfall Infestation. Flame Imp's doing, you know, really accumulating the damage there. Lancers coming on forward and doing their best to get good AoE connections, but while that Infernal Infantry is sitting on top of its own shroud, that passive white health regen, if it's not actively being whittled down, is just so hard to get through. Especially with a force this small. Let's call a spade a spade. This is not a big Vanguard force. Lancers unable to shoot up from the bottom of a cliff. We'll stay right just southwest of this natural. There we go. And finally the siege is lifted. JXP goes back home to start farming some camps, which kind of frees up Theory, which is a bit of a scary proposition, but we'll see what he turns this into. You know, I think the Weavers might have been a preemptive measure just in case Vulcans came out, and then because Vulcans will do great at shredding unsupported Gaunts like this, just with the AoE damage and like the high rate of fire and bonus damage. Like Vulcans are really good against Gaunts, but not when they get lashed and stunned forever, and now they're like the center of attention for all your DPS units. But we don't see any Vulcans out yet. We just see more Lancers. Alright, the Scrapyard's out. There we go. Now we're seeing some Vulcans. Love seeing Vulcans. Oops. All Lancers. And a Medtech. But that Medtech has no energy left. You know what would be kind of cool is if spellcasters or any kind of unit with energy, well maybe not for Celestials, but any kind of like a spellcaster had a similar return to base function, like what Vanguard has for their air units, where it's like, you know, dock at a charging port or something, and then they slowly get their energy back. Because really, when they're just sitting there with no energy, like what's the Medtech gonna do? 5 damage from their pulse gauntlets? 5 damage every other second. That's, yeah, 2.5 damage per second. That is not great. They can tank, I guess? They're technically heavy, but I don't know. Alright, Machine Lab finishes right before our very eyes. Are we going to see the upgrade? Peak performance upgrade? Not yet. do see a lot more Vulcans coming out though. But what does the Infernal Army look like now? Holy Weavers, that's a lot of Weavers. Bunch of Weavers and Mags, Weavers and Mags. Oh, here we go. Come on, Theory, show us the mag drop into the main. Actually, not to the main. The main just ran out of Luminite. Using a Harbinger to get to the back line though is actually kind of cool. So then your opponent's kind of sandwiched between the front line of like Fiends and Gaunts versus the back line of a couple of Stomping Magmadons. That could be really cool. JXP ahead by 33 supply at the moment, and a little bit ahead in units as well. Probably got this upgrade started. Maybe not. There we go. Now we're going to see a huge spread of Vanguard come together here. Now the Twilight Spires up. Yep, there's the lashes on the Vulcans, which are going to stay stunned for 2 seconds and take that percent max health damage from the Weavers. Weaver's lashing just like apparently on autocast now, but some Vulcans from the back. Oh, huge Nightfall Infestation connects with some med techs. Some nano swarms went down on these Vulcans. Lance is at the front line here. What is this? Is this like the battle for Helm's Deep? Except the humans are attacking the Orc homeworld? This is sick. Okay, so the double lash on a Vulcan again. Just gonna get pecked apart. Yeah, the Vulcans just completely spun up and doing their maximum damage. Superstone is down in the back, kind of towards the Imps, and now everything goes down. Theory, GG's out. JXP, this was awesome. Thank you so much for the submission, man.